Brandon Arnold, the National Taxpayers Executive Vice President. Brandon, you could argue here that with this additional spending and loan forgiveness, because it's just added to the debt, ironically, the administration is going to stall the very thing that a lot of folks are looking forward to, a cut in interest rates, or at least not a hike, as now some Fed members are saying. What do you think?
No, I think that's totally right. When you forgive student debt, what you do is you incentivize people to go out and spend money rather than to use those funds to pay down their debt. And when people are spending more money, guess what's happening? That's driving up inflation. The higher inflation goes, the less likelihood we have of a rate cut, or perhaps even, as you mentioned earlier, a rate increase down the road here. So these policies are very much undermining his economic plan, yet they're done very much for a political purpose because so many people are drowning in debt right now.
Yeah, then you have to wonder about the fairness of those who did pay their bills and did continue to pay their loans, to say nothing of those who opted not necessarily to go to pricey four-year colleges or pursue majors and degrees that wouldn't yield them much in terms of job potential, and why they're left out of this. But that's a separate, more psychological argument. I'm just wondering about the Federal Reserve in this environment where a lot of people are saying now things have reached a point where they can start cutting interest rates. All of this government spending, which contributed to the Fed hiking rates, might just keep that going. And I just wonder, does the administration, does Washington sense the importance of that?
It's funny because Biden has long claimed that he has helped to reduce the deficit. So obviously he sees some political value in going out there and saying that he is leading this charge when it comes to deficit reduction. Of course, if you actually look at the numbers, the exact opposite is happening. We have multi-trillion-dollar deficits as far as the eye can see. And of course, that's going to have a problem, create problems with regard to the economy. It's going to divert investment that should be going into the private sector to create jobs and economic growth and help working class Americans. Instead, that money is going to be used by the government. We're seeing interest rates skyrocket, and therefore we're seeing interest payments on the national debt reach all-time highs, exceeding even what we're spending on national defense. This is a huge economic problem, and I'd like to see not just rhetoric out there, but some actual action, not just by the administration, but also by Congress, which can't seem to do much of anything, unfortunately, due to a lot of dysfunction within the Republican and Democrat parties.
It doesn't happen. Very quickly, Brandon, I mean, we're showing the debt, which is a combination of all the deficits that pile up. And under this administration, you can brag about a deficit one year that's lower than the prior year. Debt itself is up more than $6 trillion. There's no end to that, is there?
No, there's not. And, we'd love to see more attention paid by members of Congress, by the president, by everybody. It's all rhetoric, no action. And meanwhile, future generations just have a larger and larger bill that they're going to have to pay off.
Brandon, always good seeing you, even with those words of warning.